Welcome to Friar's Coach's Corner. Today we are speaking with the boys golf team, and joining us we have head coach Chris Copeland, two seniors, John Kawakami and Joe Pagano. Gentlemen, welcome to the conversation.
All right, thank you for having us.
Thanks. I want to get right into your season and talk about where this team was going. Looking at the 2018 season, you had a record of 7-3. The 2019 season, you had a record of 9-1. Chris, can you kind of tell us what was the difference between those two seasons and maybe the improvement?
Definitely, yeah. I think the biggest jump from 2018 to 2019 for us was the depth of the team. We had some really strong juniors in 2018, but we didn't really have any senior leadership. And last year we had Patrick Curley and Frank Marzano, who were really our two senior leaders at the top of the lineup. And they really helped, which the majority of our team, which was fairly young, really developed throughout the year. And with that help, we ended up having a stronger record than we had the previous year. Our only regular season loss was against Chaminade at their course, but we were able to beat them at our home course for the regular season championship. Last year's team was an exciting team to be a part of because we had 4 members of the team, including John, were members of the All League based on their scoring throughout the season. And we had 4 freshmen make the varsity team last year. So we had a very young team, but yet the senior leadership also helped the team really gel. Those 4 freshmen, I'm looking forward to continuing to progress. This year, we obviously missed out, but next year they'll be a strong part of the team for their junior season.
Now, John, you've been on the varsity team since a freshman. Really nice way to do your 4 years of St. Anthony's being on a varsity squad. Can you tell us, from a player's perspective, what the energy was like from last season and the season before and that increase on that record?
Yeah, it was really great having the leadership of Patrick Curley and Frankie Marzano to really set the tone, and having the young guys come in, the new freshmen. We just gelled really well together as a team, whether it's having really good practice rounds where we have matches to just keep our competitiveness up. And we just had fun with it, and we really improved. As Coach Copeland said, we went 9-1, which is really just a great season. And we worked really well.
Now, who was the one lost to? Was that the end of the season?
Yeah, we lost to Chaminade. So we split. We won on our home course, and then unfortunately they beat us on their home course. But
all right, so something again, that 2021 season, something to put on there is one more goal to accomplish. So Joe, welcome to the team. I know you were on varsity last year, but you've been playing with our school golf team as a freshman as well. For you, this season really hadn't gotten underway, but as a veteran, had you guys already kind of started talking about the season, what you wanted out of the season and your expectations?
Yeah, so we talked about a lot winning the leagues this year, and I wanted to go back to states again because I went last year. It was one of the best weekends I've ever had, and one of the biggest memories from St. Anthony's of the 4 years. So this year, a big goal of mine was to get up into the upper, I guess you'd call it, group of the team. So out of the top 7 players, I wanted to get into the higher competition matches. And then another big thing was I don't know, I feel like we could have gotten 10-0 this year maybe if if everything worked out well. We had a great team, all the sophomores this year, and then John, me, and then a couple other kids. It was just a great group of guys. It was a lot of fun. Would have been a great season.
Well, that's definitely, exciting going into the season, wishing for that 10-0, that undefeated season. You can't get it any better than that. So, Chris, you guys have the momentum going. As a coach, what's the game plan coming into 2020 and shooting for that 10-0?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things that I've enjoyed working with the students is that our student athletes, I might not have the best golf advice. Many of them are better than me at golf. But what we try to work on that really separates the good players from the great players is like the mental aspect of golf, and how much your mentality, your belief in yourself, but also your ability to focus and concentrate can determine whether or not you have a good round and play as well as you can when you really need it. So I think every year we've been emphasizing that. And I think as we've gone on, a lot of the players have improved in that aspect, because all of them are great golfers. But can you play your best round when you need it most is really what the difficult thing under the high pressure of the competition, the expectations you set for yourself, but also the thought process of, I don't want to let my teammates down. And so that there is a lot of pressure when it comes to team golf, that you're not just letting yourself down, when usually golf is kind of an individual sport. We have been trying to emphasize, as John mentioned earlier, in practice rounds to always have some level of competition going on and just getting comfortable with those uncomfortable feelings that you might have, whether it be your heart racing or nerves, learning how to breathe through it and maximizing your ability by making sure that you prepare for those moments. That was kind of the game plan. I was excited to see what new golfers we had in the program. Apparently, there were a few young freshmen that might have had the ability to join our varsity squad again, like last year. So, the program is definitely healthy, and we're looking forward to continuing the movement towards competing with really the top dog in our league for a while has been Chaminade, and we view ourselves as their closest competition. We want to get to the point where we can win the league championship, which we haven't done in a little while, even though we've tied in the regular season competition 2 out of the last 4 years.
Well, that's good momentum, like you said, going forward. So we look at the 2020 roster, which possibly would have had you graduating 5 seniors. Like you said, you've got a young team, so you would possibly going into 2021, you would possibly bring back 4 veterans. So do you feel like you're rebuilding, or that momentum that you've got going now could possibly gotten you through? You said you might have some freshmen or next year sophomores that you'll get a good chance to look at and continue with.
Yeah, I think there's a few freshmen that will be sophomores that we can take a look at based on their ability from the golf meeting. We unfortunately only had a chance to have a conversation, didn't really get out on the course because of obviously everything that happened this spring. But I think there were a few juniors that were trying out that had a chance to make the team that might be able to contribute as seniors next year. But the core of the team going forward with John and Joe graduating this year will be the 4 sophomores that will be rising juniors next year. So those would be led by Andrew McGoldrick, Matt McGoldrick, Keegan Frayne, and Matt Morrell. The contributions they made to our team last year were really important to our success, largely because of their ability to rise to the occasion when we needed it most. And it was really exciting to see, 4 young freshmen really contributing. Like Joe mentioned, at leagues, almost our entire team was able to qualify for the state competition, including Joe and John from last year's team.
That's impressive. I mean, golf, we all know, is not an easy sport. So you're right, to get out to states and want to get there again, that's pretty impressive. Joe and John, again, you guys have seen your league since you were freshmen. You know what's out there. You know who you're golfing against. Other than as a team, who else maybe individually do you have to watch out for, in the world of golf?
There's a couple of players on Chaminade that are really good. One of them, I forgot. I know one kid I played against last year. His name was Tim. I mean, he was on the lower end of the pack like me, like the 7th, 8th player, and he was shooting 39s consistently every time I played against him. I'd say for my senior year, one of my goals would have been to beat him.
Chaminade's definitely always a really deep team. Like 1 through 7, they always got really good guys there. So them always really good in the league, and usually under the other teams, the 1 and 2s are usually pretty good golfers that you got to battle against.
In our league, I mean, obviously mentioning Chaminade, but where do the other teams stack? I mean, what's Kellenberg look like? What's Holy Trinity look like?
I would say Kellenberg's probably the number 3 in our league-ish, and St. John's is the other one. But really, Chaminade's a really tough team to beat when it comes down. We always kind of butt heads when we have our league matches.
Now, Chris, you have had the honor of coaching, like I said, coaching these guys and seeing them since their freshman year. As young men, and you talk about, it's more than just learning technique out there. How have you seen these guys grow? I mean, in the classroom, maybe in the hallways, just as athletes?
Yeah, it's really been a privilege getting to know these 2 young men, and John for 4 years, and I've known Joe for, I would say, most of the last 3 years pretty closely. It's fun looking back, seeing the bright-eyed John Kawakami freshman year at tryouts, wanting to be a part of the team and asking all the questions and trying to impress me every moment, and just kind of telling me, relax, you're good enough, just do your thing, show me what you got, but don't feel like you have to do more than what you're capable of. Just be yourself and you'll be all right. Seeing him progress into the confident, mature senior that he is, and what would have been, these 2 men would have been the leaders of our team this year. And the same thing goes for Joe, knowing how much he's grown, and not just his maturity, but his confidence and ability to kind of take charge in a situation, but also just his commitment to golf and how much he plays and his physical fitness just as much as his mental game. Seeing these two guys develop, exciting that I know I'm going to keep in touch with them, and who knows, we'll play some golf in the future going on at the alumni golf outing. It is it's really a nice thing to be part of. I also coach football, and there's so many players on the football team compared to the intimate nature of 8 to 10 guys on the varsity golf team, that you really get to build some nice relationships and really get to know them. So it's really been a pleasure, and missed out on them having the senior season they wanted to, but even with that being said, it's just fun knowing that they're going to be really successful in their next step in college.
So Chris, it's really good to hear about this team and like how these guys have grown. Throughout this conversation, you mentioned the future, and it really looks bright for this golf team. What else can you say maybe separates this program from maybe some of the other schools and makes it attractive enough for golfers to want to come here?
I think we have a nice, the size of the student body here gives us an advantage over some of the other teams in our league. Coach Chuck Menzer is our JV coach, and we have the ability to really develop kids, our student athletes, in the 9th and 10th grade years that some other schools might not be able to carry. So the fact that we have a varsity program as well as a JV program, and he and I are working together all the time in creating the teams. If you're not quite at the level as a 9th and 10th grader to be a varsity player and to compete at this level in our league, which is an accomplishment in itself to be part of the team, we do have the ability, we always have that JV team, which gives players the opportunity to develop, test themselves in competitive environment in a low stakes situation, because we don't have a JV league as much as we just play a lot of friendly matches and exhibition matches with both public and private schools. So like Joe is a great example of someone who took advantage of that. He was on our JV team as a sophomore, did very well, was at the top of the lineup going against the best players from the other teams. And then that gave him the confidence to continue to grow. And then he was an important member of our varsity team last year as an 11th grader. I think the ability for us as a program of about 25 golfers to be practicing together and trying out together early in the year, and then kind of separating and working on developing the younger players, giving them opportunities to practice and improve. And then also the varsity is where we focus more on competition and maximizing your ability. I think those two components play into it. I know that we try to make it a fun atmosphere and get the most and get the best out of our players. I think those are two aspects that I think makes it for an environment that really helps us have good success.
John and Joe, can you share maybe one of the exciting moments for you guys over these last 4 years of being a Friar, on the golf team?
Yeah, that's tough to pick from, but we've had a lot of great moments. I would say probably my freshman year, our match against home at Chaminade, because like my first time playing competitive golf was my freshman year of high school, and we were able to win at our home course, Huntington Country Club versus Chaminade, before our league championship to set the tone. That was a pretty cool experience to be a part of.
For me, yeah, I'd have to say it was States last year. It was just a great weekend overall for all of us. We all enjoyed ourselves, type of competition, because we never seen a majority of the kids play. Like Chaminade was there, but a lot of other big schools were there as well. And it was a great weekend to be with the guys.
Nice.
What's fun about our golf league is that we're also competing against other schools, but golf has an individual competition aspect of it, where if you play well enough throughout the year, if you're an all league member, you can qualify for states, or on that last day of the year at our league competition, if you're in the top 16, you can qualify to go to state, measure up against the other different regions within the Catholic school environment in New York State.
So John and Joe, leaving a little bit of the golf behind, and all of us hearts go out to you for this 2020 season, all of our seniors. But where are you guys headed in the fall?
I'm headed to Bates College, and I'll like to be playing golf there. So I get another 4 years at it, which is nice. But yeah, I'm really excited for that.
So in the fall, I'm heading to Sacred Heart University, and I'm going to try out for club golf freshman year. And I've been working a lot during this off season. Thankfully, my country club's been open during this whole COVID, like recently during the whole COVID process. So I've been there almost as much as I can, and I'm really trying to get on the club team, and then maybe sophomore year I'll try for the varsity team.
That's great.
Good deal. So wait, like you said, golf has been open, I guess, most of this time for most places. So you guys have had an opportunity to get out there. John, have you been getting out?
Yeah, I've been playing. Yeah, it's nice having my older brother Patrick back, where we get to play with him and my dad, which is nice. So yeah,
Good community, nice family gathering.
Yeah,
Well,
we are kind of lucky. It's one of the only things you can still do and stay safe right now.
yeah, it's true. Guys, any last parting words for some of your fellow Friars?
I would say just kind of, although this is an unfortunate time, use it as an opportunity to get better, maybe catch up on a book you want to read or work out. Just really take it as an opportunity to grow and just come back even stronger from this.
Yeah, I agree with John. It's a good time for us to focus on ourselves and, work on ourselves, whether it be mentally, physically, or even in your home. Like, you work on having a better relationship with your siblings, your parents. It's a good time to really figure out things for yourself rather than be out every day and socialize. It's good for yourself to get some time.
Nice message. Really appreciate the love that you guys are sharing with us. Again, gentlemen, it was nice having you here today. It was nice talking about golf. I unfortunately don't always get out to the course because our main course is Huntington Country Club, you said, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've been great and give us a lot of opportunity to improve our game there. So we're grateful to them.
Well, I'll definitely looking forward to 2021 season, and we'll be looking forward to what you guys do in the fall at college. So best of luck there.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.